Hi, it's Babette. Welcome to the Foreignpreneur, the place to be if you're building and growing your business as a foreigner in your new chosen country. In today's episode, I have a very special guest who is over 18,000 kilometers far from me, and we have 13 hours difference between us, so this is going to be interesting. So Gigi, thank you so much for accepting my invitation.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor and I appreciate your invitation, and I'm very excited to be here and to share my journey.
And thank you for being my first, because this is my first online interview. Obviously, we are so far away from each other, so thanks, special thanks for that. So can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you originally from? Where do you live now and what do you do?
So I am originally from Lithuania. It's a tiny country in North Europe. And last 6 years I live in Miami, Florida, United States. And I am a real estate agent.
Fantastic. So what brings you to Miami, Florida, as opposed to some, more typical cities that like New York or Los Angeles?
Before I came to US, I was in USA 3 times with a work and travel program. It's a special program for students who study bachelor or master degree, and they give it's called J1 visa once a year. So I took advantage 3 times because my bachelor degree was 4 years. So every single year I would take advantage of this program. So I was lucky that before I made the decision to move to US, I've been in many cities in the United States. And in fact, my top 3 cities that I was deciding where I should move was New York, Los Angeles, and Miami. So New York, the only thing I didn't like was the weather. They do have cold winters, and I grew up with very cold winters. So I tried to stay away from that. So I wanted to be surrounded by ocean and palm trees. So I was down to LA and Miami. And I think a couple of reasons why I chose Miami. It's closer to Europe, because just from LA to Miami is 5 hours. And then from Miami back to Europe is another probably like 12 hours. So right now from Miami, I can go to Europe in maybe like 12, 14 hours. From LA, it would be 20. So I like that it's located closer to Europe. And to be honest, I liked people more in Miami. I felt they were more friendly, more like family orientated. LA was more like everyone wants to be a movie star, a producer. Like I felt people were a little bit fake. So I related more to Miami people. I have a kind of an accent, and I am, from different country. And in some cities in US, I felt a little bit weird and strange. People look at me different. But I definitely don't feel that in Miami, because almost everyone have an accent and everyone is from somewhere else. And it's almost at this point, if you meet someone who's real American with no accent, who was born and raised here, it's kind of like weird,
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have a lot of immigrants. I'm not sure about statistics, but it's definitely more than 50% are immigrants than, Americans. So every second person you meet on the street, they are immigrants, which kind of worked for my beneficial. So again, when I went for job interviews, when I do real estate, no one is surprised like, oh, where is this accent from? Or like, why you have an accent? So.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. But if people ask you, okay, where are you from? And you say you're from Lithuania, do they know where Lithuania is? Have they ever heard of that country?
Many people assume right away, or they think it's Russia. They're like, oh, so you guys belong to Russia. And then I do correct them that, yes, we used to belong to Russia. It was called Soviet Union, but we got independent in 1990, which was 31 years ago. So we used to belong to Russia. And in beginning, at some points, it used to upset me, and I used to correct people, but now sometimes I've said, you're right, we used to belong to Russia, so it's very similar or almost the same. Also, people confused with Ukraine. When I said Lithuania, they said, oh, it's Ukraine. And I understand we have only 3 million people and we are a very tiny country, so I'm not get upset anymore if people don't know me. Oh, and funny fact, I can share that since last 4 years, the president's wife was from Europe. I think she's from Slovakia or Slovenia. So I think it helped small Europe countries to be more recognized. And now when I said I'm from Lithuania, people ask like, oh, is it the same country, or are you close to the country where Melania is from? Which I think I like it. I think because she was European and, you know, she's a classy, elegant lady, I'm sure many people at least Googled European countries, or at least where is Slovakia and Slovenia, and maybe they saw Lithuania somewhere a little bit above. So I'm happy people start recognizing more and more.
Oh, how cool. And it must be so funny for you, because for them, you know, if they say that, oh, is Lithuania close to Slovenia? Like for us Europeans, we know that, oh no, it's really, really far. But for an American, it's like, duh, it's still probably closer than, you know, 2 states.
Yeah, that is true. And yeah, first few times I was like, again, like laughing and explaining like, no, it's totally different countries, different languages. But after I thought, you know, like this, honestly, I do similar things to, let's say, Latin people. If you tell me you're from Colombia or Argentina, for me, it's not a big difference. So like now I think like, okay, if we're somewhere in the middle of Europe, we all look the same for Americans, which we have like similar, you know, maybe characters, accents or looks. So I'm starting to be more okay with that and don't like, no, this is my country, this is other country, you know, so I'm starting to be more and more okay with, you know, that. I'm happy at least, you know, some European countries or something about Europe.
Yeah, oh, that's so funny. I'm the same. I used to correct people and, no, Hungary, and where is it? And I would try to explain, and I would get this sort of, you know, blank look on people's faces. And now sometimes it's enough if I say, I'm from Europe.
Same here, same here. I used to say Lithuania, I'm from Europe. I'm doing exactly the same thing.
Oh, that's so funny. So tell me, how did you become a real estate agent? Is that what you always wanted to do, or was there an opportunity?
Yes. So in fact, I had this goal before I even came to US. I came to US in 2014, and at that time there was one popular show. It's called the $1 Million Listing in New York, and I watched that show, and I really liked the way they showed real estate agent job. Like every day they meet different people, they show the properties, they negotiate. So just from that show, I kind of fell in love, and I had this feeling like, oh, maybe I would be a great agent and that's something I would love to do. So I did have this goal in my head. The only difference, I thought it might take me a year or 2 until I get my real estate license and learn about the city and industry. And I was very, very lucky that when I came to Miami, the first jobs I was looking was assistant job. Any kind of business, it could be, I don't know, restaurant, retail, online store. I just wanted to be assistant so I can learn more about business and how to do business in US. And luckily, my first job was real estate broker assistant. And that was my first job. That's where I learned a lot of things. And then I think in 6 months, I already got my own license.
Oh, nice. Good job. Wow. So have you worked in the real estate field in Lithuania? Or do you know much about that field? Like how, because my real question is like, would you know, like, what is the difference between the Lithuanian real estate market and the American? Because I know in Hungary, some people would use a real estate agent, but not as religiously as, for example, here in Australia. Everybody straight goes to, whether it's they're renting out an apartment or they're selling or buying, they go to a real estate agent. Whereas in Hungary, still a lot of people rent the apartment themselves. And I think more people sell it or try to sell it themselves.
Yeah, so that is the same in my country. Many people, honestly, they don't even trust the agent. They want to do everything themselves, or this is the same story. And I was pleasantly surprised that in US, so many people use agent and only few try to sell themselves. But one thing is that when I got my license and like I watched many trainings, how to get listings and buyers, that first step that everyone offers, go to your family and friends or like people you go to school or like university. And I was alone in this country, so I have no one to go, you know, no one to ask for referrals or leads. So I had to build everything myself, which is again maybe good because I learned, you know, not to relate on my relatives. While someone who grew up here, they have so many like uncles and cousins to call and, you know, ask for leads. So sometimes I think, let's say, if I would came back to my country or if I would do real estate in my country, it would be so beneficial since like I grew up there and so many people know me. So, you know, I could get so easily leads here and there. Anyone who wants to buy, rent or sell, I could be their agent. So also one thing about real estate, especially in Miami, competition is insane. I think just in South Florida, in Miami area, we have 60,000 active real estate agents. So competition is huge, but I try to look at my strength. I think I'm a very hardworking person and I have work ethics. So I try to win listings or clients with my hard work. And, you know, usually people see that and people feel that. You know, I'm always on top of my things. I'm always on time. Compare with the Miami culture, many people are more like relaxed, laid back. They like to be late or like they don't follow the deadlines. So I think my work ethics, my passion and hard work helped a lot to earn people trust who don't know me.
Oh, fantastic. That's so good to hear. And how did you get your visa in America? Because I know that it's almost as, if not even more complicated to get a visa in the US as it is to get a visa here in Australia. How did you get yours?
Yes, you're absolutely right. For us, at least Europeans, to come and live legally in US, it's very, very difficult, almost impossible, like you said. I was very lucky. I won green card in green card lottery. So if you are someone who don't believe that or never heard about it, definitely check it out. It is true. There are winners and like real random winners, and I'm like example. I won the lottery. It wasn't from the first time. I was doing it for 4 years. 1 year, 2. So only year number 4 I won, but I was consistent and I played every year. So definitely check it out. It's happening only once a year in, I think, October, around 30 days, like kind of like October 1st, November 1st. That's the only time you can enroll it, and they tell the winners in May. So if you are interested, put dates in October and don't forget to apply. And there is only one official US website where you can apply, and it's absolutely free. There are lots of travel agencies who try to help you and take money from you, but it won't help you that. I would always recommend go directly and don't spend money on these travel agencies, and some of them might be even fraud. And one more thing, just to help some of you who wants to come to US, before I won the green card lottery, I was in US 3 times with the J1 visa and the student program that is called Work and Travel US. At least in my country, and I think in other European countries too, you might have even in Australia. As long as you're a student and you study bachelor degree or master degree, once a year you can go to US, I think up to 6 months, and they give you permission to work, I think 5 months, and 1 month travel inside the US. So I took advantage and I used this program 3 times. First time I went to Boston, next time I went to Miami, and third time I went to Hawaii. And wow. I was not only working, like I was also traveling in US. So before I won my green card and made decision to move to US, I was here 3 times. And I think this program is amazing. If you're a student and you want to come to US, definitely check it out. Incredible experience.
That's so good to hear, because I remember I was getting these green card, maybe not emails, but like sort of random ads on random websites, and I always thought it was a scam. And it's not. Oh my God, I should have applied like 10 years ago. Wow.
Thank what we can do. I will send you the link, the official US government link, which is the only link if you want to apply, and they don't charge you anything. All other links that you see pop up in your email or like Facebook ads, whatever, don't do that. Just go directly to government and save yourself money.
Fantastic. Thanks for that. That would be very helpful. And so when they notified you that you won the green card lottery, that's amazing. Congratulations, by the way. That's fantastic.
It was like my dream come true. I've been dreaming. I have been dreaming about this since I was like little girl. So it really was a dream come true.
Yes. And when it happened, what did you do? Oh, Mom, Dad, I'm leaving. Ciao, ciao.
Yeah. So I think when I won, I was 22 years old. And the good thing, it was my last year in university in bachelor degree. which again, I guess everything happened for a reason. If I would won year 1 or year 2, I would be like probably 19, 20 years old, maybe even too young to come. I wouldn't even be legally go to the bar and have a drink. In US, liquor is from 21. Yeah. And also I wouldn't have finished my university most likely, because I think you have to move in US within 1 year. Yeah, so thank God I won the same year I finished my university. And before that, like I told, I traveled. So my parents kind of trust me, and they know what I do with my life, and they know I'm a smart lady and I will be able to make the right decision for me. So it was a little bit scary, but I think I was more excited. The excitement was, you know, over the roof, and, you know, I felt like sky's the limit. I can be whoever I want, because my country, like I told you, is 3 million people. Let's say one day I want to write a book, I can only sell it to 3 million people. And let's say in US we have 300 million people. So I felt this like opportunity, you know, and like I was very excited. It's one of the best things that happened in my life, to be honest.
Fantastic. And you still like Miami? Have you ever considered moving to another city, or you're happy there?
Yes, I have, especially in the beginning. I told you I was looking for a job. And honestly, it took me maybe 2-3 months to find the job that I like. I specifically wanted 9-to-5 job and something like corporate job so I can learn. And many people during interview, they were honest with me, like, look, Miami is kind of like a party city. And if young girls come here, they mostly want to be a bartender, a waitress, or like work in like beach club or lounge or something like that. It's not city to make a career. And many people even gave me advice, like, you know, maybe it would be better for you to move to like Boston, San Francisco, New York. And at some point I have been considering that. And I remember I gave myself 1 month. I think it was like New Year's or something. If I won't find a job that I like in Miami, I most likely will move out. But I guess everything happened for a reason. I did get a job as a broker assistant. And as of today, I'm still here and I love my job. And Miami, last few years, Miami is really growing a lot. We have many people moving from New York, California, because they can save on taxes. We have lower taxes than other states. So right now, I think Miami is a good place to be, and definitely more potential than 6 years ago in 2014 when I came. But yeah, if you're someone who wants to make really great career in the corporate world, then yeah, like Miami might be not the best place for you. Maybe like I mentioned, Boston, San Francisco, New York. But if you're someone who likes nightlife, parties, you want to be like a bartender, Miami is a great place for that.
Oh, fantastic. And so, well, I wonder if this question is relevant to you at all. So once you moved to Miami, because you said you had some concerns about your accent in other cities. I always want to say countries, in other cities. But Miami is different. So has that changed, or have you tried to change your accent once you finally settled in Miami, or you knew that, you know what, everybody's an immigrant, or most people are from somewhere else, so I will be fine? Or did you have some concerns?
In Miami, I did feel comfortable. I never felt the need to change my accent. Like I think even, I live here 6 years. I think 6 years ago, I had a stronger accent. So I think little by little, I am getting better with that. And maybe, you know, in next 6 years, maybe I'll speak like, you know, Americans with no accent. So I don't know about that. I don't do nothing, like I don't go to any classes. I don't hire any like teachers. So I don't like spend my time working on that. But I think every day being around people, I think every year I do some improvement. So I don't know where I'll be in 5 years.
All right. Last question. What advice would you give to your 10 years younger self about moving to a new country?
Yeah, so first of all, just do it. And especially if you have a feeling, a calling, and something that inner voice tells you to do that. Like for me, it was specifically US, and I specifically wanted to be around the ocean and palm trees. And it was a huge desire. And I think if you have this in your heart, there is a reason why universe or God gave you this vision, and you should follow your heart. But for you, it might be a different country. For you, it might be UK, London, it might be Australia, it might be Italy, you know, or any other country. But if you really have this burning desire to move to other country, or to change location, and you've been daydreaming about specific locations since, let's say, you was young, I believe there is a reason why. And, follow your heart. And I'm happy I did it. I'm happy that the fear didn't win. My excitement and my dream was bigger than the fear. So I wish that for you as well. Like, of course, there will be people questioning your decision or maybe criticizing you, and there will be fear, Every change is not easy, and there are sometimes challenges, but it is definitely worth at the end of the day. So have this, bigger goal and focus on that bigger goal instead of your fear.
That sounds so good, fantastic. And yes, I think that's the essence. So if somebody would like to know more about Miami and the real estate situation, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I have also a YouTube channel. It's Gigi. Yeah, maybe later spell it for me. I'm sure I pronounce it differently than it's written. You can check it out. I have a YouTube channel. I talk about real estate and Miami and personal finance. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out.
So guys, go check it out. I'm going to put the link in the description. Gigi, thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much for sharing all this wisdom and experience with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure. You're such a lovely lady and bright soul. I really enjoy, and I wish you the best in Australia. And I love to hear stories like yours as well. I really enjoy my time sharing. I hope it will help some people. And if you have any questions, or hopefully if one day you will win the green card, let me know, send me a message. I would love to hear your story as well.
Or once we can travel, hopefully I will come to the US and I will see you there. Until then, I'm sure I will talk to you soon again.
Yes, same here. Stay safe. Thank you.